Okay, I'm ready to go.
Oh.
Hello, my friends. I'm Peymon Motahede, the president of Freedom Law School, and in this presentation, I'll show you how IRS has finally restarted sending some letters requesting tax returns from you. These are still toothless threats from the IRS. You may be so happy to hear about it and see it for yourself. For those of you who don't know me, my website is freedomlawschool.org. I started Freedom Law School back in 1996, and for over 30 years, I've not fallen paid even $1 for tax returns, or paid IRS $1 openly. Been at the criminal investigation for over 30 years. Never been to prison for taxes, and helping America become free as opposed to Iran, where I came from when it was not a free country. So you're going to be excited to hear this good news of freedom that I'm bringing for you right now. Okay, okay, we have a problem there? We've restarted? Okay. All right, we're going to restart again. Ready? Just give me 1, 2, 3, guys.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, my friends. I'm Peymon Motahede, president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. Freedomlawschool.org is our website. And in this presentation, I will show you that the IRS, after almost 10 years of leaving non-filers alone, just finally restarted sending a few toothless letters to you, the American people, to scare you to be slaves. You don't have to worry, and you can be safe if you use your head rather than letting them make you scared. Let's go to first our website, freedomlawschool.org, of the 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception, which leads to fear, and with that fear, they rob you and control you. And step 3 is a very key thing I need to teach you all, okay? It is that the IRS operates on deception and bluff. This is very important that you get this. That's why I have these cartoons there about the Wizard of Oz that the corrupt major media makes of the IRS. For you, Dorothy, and your friends to be afraid, and when Freedom Law School pulls the curtain, what do you see behind that? Oh, a bunch of incompetent, lazy, disorganized IRS employees on 1960s computer technology, and that's not exaggeration, okay? And I'll show you, again, you'll find out that when the American people, here's a real reason why they pay income taxes, because we've been programmed to, by the IRS, the corrupt major media, news broadcasters, and even corrupt and deluded, preachers who tell us to pay your taxes. Fear, shock, adoration of government, relaxation, fatigue. That's how they get control of you, and I'm going to help you to free yourself of all of this if you just stay with me, okay? First, watch a short video. This short video symbolizes we the people are the ants, and the grasshoppers are the deep state, IRS, like a DOJ, crooked judges, FBI, CIA, all these guys for many, many decades have enslaved us. Income tax has been a scam, lie, for over 100 years. And here's the truth, said from the mouth of Harper, the head of the deep state grasshoppers, trying to continue to enslave the ants. You. Here we go.
One ant. Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? How about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Yeah, it's about keeping you, American ants, in line. Because we outnumber them, not 100 to 1, more than 1,000 to 1. We can bury them, folks. All those seeds falling on the grasshoppers, that's us. There's no way they can stand up to us if we wake up and see what's really going on that they don't want you to see and understand, okay? First, I'm going to give you some numbers from the IRS's own mouth that will shock you, okay? Here's a letter from the IRS in Washington, D.C., September 1998, from the paper tiger to this guy in Oregon, okay? And here, the second paragraph of his letter says something quite eye-opening. Based on our 1996 tax filing program, we estimate, the IRS really doesn't know, they're just giving a rough guess. There are approximately 63 million taxpayers who have not filed a tax return and initially would appear to have a legal requirement to file. That's right. Not 63,000. 63 million. And these are not the guys that made $500 or just $2,000. No. These are people IRS had, according to them, requirement to file. They're made above the minimum exemption amount, right? Now it gets better. The further continues saying this estimate is based on data available to their service, the IRS, on the individual master computer file. Oh, you have this data based upon what? The W-2 your employer sends the IRS, the 1099 someone sends about you, or K1 partnerships. That's how I have this estimate. They don't really even know. It's just a rough number. Tell me, is there 63 million Americans in prison for not paying taxes? Nope. Is there 63 million Americans have the bank account and paycheck taken by the IRS? No. And guess what? The number of non-filers now, since 1996, has now risen to 80 to 90 million. Who knows? 1 out of every 3 Americans does not file to file. That's right. It's a huge number. This is a myth that if you don't file, you lose everything to the IRS, become a martyr, go to prison. It's just brainwashing they got done to you. Okay? Let's go into this a little bit more before I get to letters, okay? So, on our step 3, we cover the fact that the best way to have the IRS leave you alone is to stop filing 10 for income tax confession trap forms. That's right, these are confession forms against yourself. It's a trap that you walk yourself into and sign. Because the IRS in 2017 stopped going after people who do not file 10 for income tax confession trap forms for the following 7 reasons, which I don't have time to get into all of that right now. But you're not even see this thing in 2025. Right now, here we are, June 2025. The IRS started coming after a very small number of non-filers, and that's going to cover tonight in this presentation for you. First, let me show you this report from the IRS's auditors. Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, or TICTA. And this report is headlined, High Income Non-Filers owing billions of dollars are now being worked by the Internal Revenue Service. This is all public information, folks. Available, came out May 2020. And in this report, guess what? I've quoted this part in the report that these auditors of Treasury Department told the IRS, okay, to go after the rich non-filers, and the IRS said no. You see, U.S. Treasury auditors gave the IRS a list of 100 richest income tax non-filers who each would owe the IRS about $100,000, and recommend the IRS to go after these people for taxes. Now, of course, it's all fraud. The people in 50 states are not required to file income tax, but let's pretend for a minute that they do, okay? Now, you think the IRS would go after these people? Oh, no. No. Easy 10 billion. The IRS is so broken, disorganized, lazy, and irresponsible that the IRS refused to even commit a phony lip service even to go after these extremely rich, high-income non-filers. All that, you can read the source documents right there. The link is there. Now, there's another one. In 2017, report came out by the Treasury Inspector General about the IRS. It basically says IRS has chosen to leave income tax non-filers alone. And on the chart on the right, figure number 6, okay, you see the chart here, shows how non-filer case creation is. That blue line goes down to near zero in 2016. And I've got how blown up. The first 2 years, they sent about 1 million letters to scare non-filers to file. That's right. It's about 1 million non-filers. These are all toothless letters like the ones you got. I'm going to show you that in a minute, okay? Yes. They used to do that for decades. Send at least some toothless letter to scare you. Whoa! IRS is going to get you. You better fall on your own before the IRS gets you pounded to death. You know? So anyhow, and you see, by year 2016, that became to near zero. So practically do the math, IRS management chose to leave 99.9% of non-filers alone. That's right. Just do the math for yourself. You see that, okay? Now, and for the report, you can read it for yourself verbatim. I got the language of them right there, okay? That they gave those 100 richest non-filers to the IRS, and IRS said, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to say, take a hike, IRS. Treasury auditors. We're not going to go after these easy 100 richest non-filers you told us to go after, okay? Now, again, this other one I mentioned to you, 2017 one, which is very important report, has also more good stuff. Here's how this relates to the letters you got. Many of you got these letters. Since maybe last December 2024, I was asking you to file a tax return. And you see those letters right now. What does that mean? What is this all about? Let's look at these reports. Well, IRS tells us in these reports that they have non-filer cases identified by the IRS generally first go through a notice phase during which 1 or 2 notices are sent to taxpayers to remind them to file or explain why they're not required to file a tax return, okay? So, again, these are simply what? Just notice. They mean nothing. The letter you got in the mail is nothing new. They've done that for a long time. They mean zero. They're just scaring you. They just don't call them scare letters. They call them notices. Okay. So here's now another one of the quotes from these reports of the IRS. Okay, these cases now here we go will be issued the first delinquent return notice, right? See, that's what they do. First notice, return delinquency, and if the taxpayer fails to respond, a second delinquent return notice will be issued. See, this has always been standard procedure from the IRS. Okay, they've always done this kind of thing to scare you to file a 1040 income tax confession form, to get you to be a slave on your own without the IRS having to do anything, because they get you to hang yourself. Here's number of non-filers identified by the IRS for your 2010, 2016. That's how many they know of. There's a lot more that they don't know. That's right. You see here, the number of non-filers have been going up since 2012 every year, and it's not even 50% of the actual non-filers, which we know is about 89 million now, okay? And here on this, they say that issuing non-filer notices can be a cost-effective tool that requires little more than automated notices. Wow! Automated notices is all that IRS need to do. Yeah, what is that? Junk mail? Garbage to scare you. That's all these letters are. Automated, you'll see. They're not sending about somebody who they're watching you. That's what they want you to believe. And here, IRS at irs.gov tells us about understanding your CP59 notice. Okay, what is this notice about? We have no record that you filed your prior year personal income tax return. Yep. And of course, they want you to call them, they want you to file, but guess what? You do nothing, nothing will happen. Just like junk mail, try to sell you some product, you can just trash can. Legally, it means zero. They don't have to send it out to you, and you don't have to respond either. Okay? Here it is. Let's look at one. Here it is on the top right, IRS notice CP 59. From the IRS office in Austin, Texas, is sending some of these things out. Oh, look at that. Time-sensitive information. Open immediately. Wow, are you scared? Open immediately. Time-sensitive. It'll get you otherwise if you don't act quickly enough. Be scared right away. Immediately act. Right? So here it is, in this person you see in Littleton, Colorado, they say you need to file your 2023 1040 income tax return. December 23rd, 2024. What you need to do immediately, right now, like drop everything, immediately do that, right? Okay? File your 2023 tax return in bold, either electronically or by mail. Oh, did we make a mistake? If you don't need to file, guess what? File something else. File this other form, 15103. Why would you have to file anything at all with the IRS? Are you a slave to the U.S. government? Do they own you? No, they don't. Okay? See, they still want you to file no matter what. Okay? So they want you to file this 15103 form, and if we don't hear from you, now they're trying to entice you. You may lose your claim for a refund or certain credits. But we may determine your tax for you. An applicable penalty and interest charge may continue to accrue. Oh my gosh. More penalty, more interest. Be scared. More fear-mongering. You may become subject to backup withholding. If you receive interest and dividend income, you don't file your return. Oh my gosh. Look at this letter. It's just a computer-generated junk. They don't even put a name, a phony computer name on a letter. Because they know it's junk. Let's not do any games. It's just a phony scare letter. Right? So if you ignore this, guess what happens? Oh, let's understand the next scare letter. CP 5818, individual's notice. IRS tells us that this is a final reminder that we still have no record that you filed your prior tax returns. Wow! Ooh, final reminder. That sounds scary. Oh my gosh, you want to come take my stuff? My bank account? My paycheck? And my property? Are you scared yet? Huh? I'm telling you, don't worry about it. And here's the actual letter. Same couple in Little Colorado were sent this letter from IRS's Austin, Texas office, CP 518. And was that February 3rd, 2023, just over a month later. This one says, you must file your 2020 tax return. We have sent you prior notices, which is a lie. There's only one notice, non-notices. But IRS writers are not very smart. Their grammar is not very good. They call one notice notices. Right? Nobody proved that there are 4 letters, but still have not heard from you. What you need to do immediately, again, same thing. You scare you, but now after telling you they want you to file and pay, they say what may happen if you don't hear from you. Again, they don't mention the benefits of filing, getting a refund. They only use more fear-mongering. Okay, we may figure your tax for you. Oh, then you have you may allow to receive available deduction of credits, and you risk losing your refund. Oh, come on. What are your payment options? Oh, it's a given. You're going to pay. It's a given. You're going to pay, right? Just a matter of how you have options to pay. Again, this is the form they want you to file 15103 instead of a 1040 tax form. Same thing. They want you to fill out something to declare yourself a slave of the IRS. What if you ignore that? Oh, then there's a third letter, by the way. There's more. There's a LT26 notice, IRS tells us. And what is this about? We previously contacted you to file your federal tax returns, but we didn't receive a response. You must file your tax returns immediately. Be scared. Come on, fear is our tool. We've got to scare you to make yourself a slave. Be scared, please. Right? And here's the actual notice L26. Guess what? Same people in Colorado got this letter from the IRS in Cincinnati, Ohio office now. Okay? And it's now, this one's longer. It's 2 pages long. Uh-oh! Please file your missing returns. Oh, they're using nice language now. They're saying, pretty please. They're more polite now. They're using different tactics. They be nice to you, would you please? You think the first letter would be please, the next one would be more fear-mongering. But no, they got all the way around, right? They're talking tough to their work, and they're trying to talk nice. So, again, we're trying to collect unfiled returns from you. Again, they're assuming you're a slave. They're assuming you're a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C., and have a legal requirement to file and pay federal income tax when you're not. 99.9% of you are not from Washington, D.C., and you're not required to file and pay federal income or payroll taxes to begin with, right? So here we go. Again, same kind of a thing. You see, I'm not going to go over this in much more detail, okay? They're saying here, they mentioned on page 2, summary of missing tax returns, 2023, 1040 form, U.S. individual income tax return, okay? You know, and they say, here we go, the more threatening language about penalties and interest is always there. And they say, call us. Oh, yes. IRS provides help. You can call the IRS at 800-829-3903 because somebody will scare you on the phone that you better file. We got specialists on the line waiting for you to make you scared that you should file, otherwise you're going to lose everything you got. That's what the plan is. Okay? So, all these letters mean absolutely nothing. You don't need to be afraid of these letters at all. Complete junk. Again, I'll repeat, you can throw it in the trash. And look at this one, Bubba. This one was sent on what date? By the way, this one was sent on May 12, 2025. Okay? So from December 24 to May 25, they sent 3 letters within the course of almost 6 months, and nothing happens. Nothing moves. No consequence whatsoever. No need to be afraid of them at all, okay? What the IRS needs to do, if they really want to come after you by law, is to send you a notice of deficiency. Yes. Internal Revenue Code Section 62-12 requires them to send you a notice of deficiency. Now, I'm not going to get into legal stuff at this point. I just want to get to the key point, is that they know if they want to come after you, they have to send you a notice of deficiency, okay? And your right to challenge. You can challenge them, okay? Here's this one for $710, amount due. They sent this couple March 2025, okay? 4-year 2021, okay? And the proposed amount due, it's all here. By law, this is the IRS must send you. And they tell you, you can contest the changes by filing a petition in the U.S. tax court. The last date to file a petition with tax court is June 2nd, 2025 in this case. See, when you don't file, you don't confess to owing the IRS money, you don't put the rope around your neck and hand it to the IRS. Now, they have to give you a tax proposal letter called the Notice of Deficiency and give you right to a full-blown trial in the U.S. tax court. We have to take the time of IRS appeals officer, IRS lawyer, judge's clerk, the judge, all the legal processes, right? You know, the judge has to fly to the town near you to conduct a trial. It costs them way too much money. In this case, for example, that the $710 this guy supposedly owed the IRS. Okay? The IRS cannot do that. So they don't issue notice deficiencies to very many people at all. Okay? And here's why. They don't come after non-filers. Okay? Here's an example of how IRS is so overburdened. This is a case I covered last week of this toothless private collection agency, Coast Professional, okay, is writing this guy in May of 2025 because they owe this supposedly to the IRS. How much? Over $500,000. In fact, here's the exact amount is $658,000 plus 4 years, 2000, what? 12 and 16 through 21. All these years, okay? And the IRS is giving this person a letter saying, look, this is the annual letter IRS is supposed to send you. Here's a notice. Send the money not to us, but to the IRS. Why doesn't the IRS itself send the letter out to the people to pay the IRS directly? Oh, IRS's computers are so messed up. They have to have a third party send a letter to the people saying, please pay the IRS. Over $500,000. IRS doesn't pursue this guy. Right? They're so overburdened. There's too many of us, not enough of them. Remember, these ounce outnumber us 100 to 1. And if you ever figured out you American slaves, ants, the gig is up for them. It's over. Got it? So that's why I use fear, intimidation instead. Okay? So because they don't have enough resources, they don't come after you. Okay? On our website, about we have a blog, Progression of the Letters IRS sends out. We have it here. This progression letter, it's an old book. We're going to update it with the new letters we got. It's all here. IRS has to send you a notice deficiency down the road. Even if you were to lose, they have to send you what's called a final notice of intent to levy and your right to hearing to challenge IRS's collection action if you choose to do it, which you should. See, the problem is these accountants, CPAs, they do not know how to challenge the U.S. Government, IRS, and U.S. tax court. You know why? Because they were not taught any law in accounting classes. No, accountants, CPAs are not taught any tax law in the Internal Revenue Code, the Bible of the IRS. There's glorified bookkeepers, glorified form fillers. That's all they are. That's why, okay, they say you lose to the IRS because they don't take you to tax court to challenge the IRS as you can and should, and Freedom Law School does for all of our Restore Freedom Plan members. We challenge them. I've been the IRS myself, and I've done all without an attorney, going to tax court, to district court, IRS appeals. Don't need an attorney. It can be done without an attorney because I'll read the law. Okay. So here we go now. We're almost done, folks. Hang in there. Okay. Then I want you to know that be aware of a lot of basis legal theories out there, patriot mythologies. Here's a few of those basis legal theories. Please do not rely on those garbage theories out there. They're all useless. For over 30 years, I've seen these kind of nonsense people use, and they get in trouble and don't work if the IRS come after you. Remember, vast majority of non-filers, 99+% of non-filers are completely left alone by the IRS. But if you rely on this nonsense, if they come after you, you will lose. So please do not rely on this nonsense that is out there, okay? So you're going to come back, folks, to our step 3 and really educate yourself about the IRS, okay? Now, some people say, well, Peymon, what if I'm that guy, the IRS does come after me? Because you told me they are coming after a very small number of non-filers. Tiny amount? Yes, very tiny amount. They start going after, but they can do no more than a tiny bit amount. You know why? Here is why they're going to come after you all. Because according to law, okay, the U.S. tax court has only at most 19 judges. That's right. These 19 people only are supposed to give a trial, tax trial for up to 300 million people, for corporations, trusts, LLCs, you know, all kind of different kind of cases. Only 19 of them. Yeah, they simply do not have enough judges to handle all the large numbers of non-filers of about 80, 90 million. Look at the tax court's website itself. They have 80 judges right now. The senior judges, okay, they only come here cases once in a while because they are retired. Special trial judges handle cases that are under 50,000, and you agreed to have the tax court judge your case. It's under 50,000, and no appeal to the Federal Court of Appeal, which you have a right to. If you do it properly, like Freedom Law School does, you have a right to go to the Court of Appeal, potentially even the Supreme Court, over your tax case. There's too many of us out there. That's why they don't issue these people, non-files, those deficiencies, okay? And look, here's some government's own data, okay? What does it show? That every year tax code already has around 25,000 cases they hear. That's right. See, look at the numbers. From 17 to 24, the numbers are roughly around 25,000. Anywhere from 17,000 up to 35,000. About 25,000. There's about 1,000 cases per one tax court judge already. And even if 900 of them get settled out of court somehow, or they got to show up to trial, each judge hears about 100 cases a year, which is a lot. That's about 8 cases every month when he takes vacation. Okay? So there's no way they can come after you non-filers en masse. Okay? Know that, my friend, that you're in good hands. And if you want to be safe, here's your option. You can do it on your own. The IRS is leaving, as I said, 99+% of non-filers alone. But if you have the spirit of America's founding fathers, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, those guys, and are willing to put a little bit of skin in the game, not like them. They put their lives, their fortune, their stake and honor on the line for the revolution to give us freedom. I don't want you to do any of that stuff. All I want you to do, propose to you, is put a little bit of money that you would have given to the IRS already. Take 30% of what you would have given to the IRS and put that in your Restore Freedom plan. To restore freedom for you and your family and your children and grandchildren and on. That's what this Restore Freedom plan is all about. Yes. Okay? So you can enjoy 100% guarantee safety from the IRS when you legally stop filing and pay income taxes, as long as you are a member of the Restore Freedom Plan. And Freedom Law School will prevent the IRS from lending you money by using lawful means, right? We challenge them properly, right? Through the system, through the laws provide all that. Challenges like tax court, or Freedom Law School will reimburse you anything the IRS takes from you, and you will not go to prison. Very simple, folks, okay? By coming together. Thomas Jefferson told the founding fathers at the time of the Revolution, gentlemen, we shall hang together, or we shall alone hang separately. Hang together, like the founding fathers, learn from them by joining the Restore Freedom Plan. That way you have the peace of mind that you really want for you and your family and safety. That's right. So if you go to our website, it's all there. You are draining the corrupt swamp by not paying the IRS, and the crooks in there, the criminals that are working against you. You're no tax percent guaranteed, yes, because we confront the lawmakers with the law in our petitions. Quote it, print it, okay, attach, send to the lawmakers to refute, which they can never do. Custom responses to IRS letters are included. Unlimited consultations. That's right. All that's paid for with a flat annual membership of you to Restoring America to Freedom, and you can even get paid by sharing the good news with fellow Americans, your family members, friends, co-workers, anybody you know, okay? So this is the simple solution for freedom for America, people. We can't make it happen, okay, if we work together, okay? You don't need to be afraid of them. These letters you got, again, file 13 of them. You don't have to respond to them. Because remember, on our website, step 1 is what? Cover the law. Follow the law is the number one thing Freedom Law School teaches, right? No law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income and payroll taxes, okay? And see that freedomlawschool.org and call us if you have any questions. These brochures will be mailed to you at no charge to pass your friends, family members, co-workers, everybody out there at your place of business. Put it out there. Text about us. Email about us. Repost our videos anywhere on social media you want, and get the word out about America. We're taking it back. You just gotta love and spread the truth, okay? And go out there, be a modern day Paul Revere. restore America's families and America by arming your fellow Americans with the law. That's how we're going to get America back. So you can be free like me at freedomlawschool.org. Continue education. Seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free at freedomlawschool.org. Drive around town, put your cell phone, put our videos up, listen as you drive. When you go to work, at lunch, dinner at home, listen and watch it this time and see, wow, I know the truth. I'm out of the matrix of deception and free. It's yours, brothers and sisters. I love you. Opportunity for freedom is yours to take. Go and do it for yourself, your family, anybody you love at freedomlawschool.org. Okay, now let's go to your questions, my friend. And we have right now 2 people with questions waiting to ask their questions. The first caller is from area code 650. The second caller from area code 904. The third one is from area code 573. If you have a question, the number to call is on the screen. Dial 424-552-1299, and then on your telephone keypad, you press 1. Again, the number to call is 442-552-1299, and then you press 1 on your telephone keypad. And then we also have 2 more calls added, one from area code 727, and another caller added from area code 408. So people, please, when you get to be your turn, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and get your question briefly and succinctly. Let's start with the 650 area code number. You're live, my friend. Name, how you heard about us, and your question, please.
Hi, my name is...
What's your name?
The internet. My name's Chris.
And how on the internet you look for something, you went to someone's website or video, how was it?
Yeah, it was on YouTube.
All right. And how may I help you?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I was doing Airbnb in 2020 and made pretty good money. I previously filed the year before because I was working for a nonprofit, and I moved away from the address that I was living at, and I've been given a couple registered mail from those years now showing that they've been charging interest, and now they say I owe $45,000, and have said it's basically, they sent a 90-day notice like a year ago. I've never responded to them at all. So I'm just trying to figure out, you know, if I'm totally shit out of luck and need to pay them that amount or what I should do.
Chris, I need to see the letters that you got to see what they are, what they mean, and then I can evaluate that. At this point, I cannot tell you. It's just like calling a doctor on the phone. Doctor, my back hurts. Eye hurts. I don't hear very good. My tooth hurts. What should I do? The doctor tells you, you have a specific problem. I got to see your body, do some tests, and I can tell you. You have a specific situation, some letters, I got to see them. Up to 10 pages, fax or email or mail to your Freedom Law School for free. I'll go over it. If it's longer than 10, I'll scan it and go over it also every Tuesday night here for free. You can also, if you want, to have a private paid consultation as well, so you have choices. But there's no way I can tell you about this letter, what to do. Get that to me. Let's call to talk next week about your letter issue. All right, Chris, just hold on. Get it to me. We'll talk next week. All right, my friend?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Chris. Okay, let's go area code 904. Caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon, this is Jason. You and I, just to refresh your memory, had lunch a few years ago down there in Bradenton, and we've spoken a couple of times.
We had lunch where, Jason?
What's that? Down there with you, and I think it was Bradenton. We met at a little Italian place. Anyway, when I met with you, I had mailed off all three of the letters to my two state senators and my local rep. As usual, I didn't hear back from any of them. I haven't filed since the 2015 tax year, so which would have been 2016, and I haven't been filing since or paying since. I was self-employed, but I went back to a W-2 job last year, and I had to complete the W-4. I made sure they sent me an email that basically I asked them, do I have to fill this out? And they sent one back, said, yes, you have to do this or we won't hire you, yada, yada. I also have a contractor I do side work for that insisted on a 1099. I had already worked for them for several jobs, and they demanded an email that said, we will not pay you unless you submit this 1099, so I did that. What I did with my W-4 is I put a note on the bottom. I wrote exempt. I put a note on the bottom, basically said this form is not complete without additional supporting documentation. To obtain it, email this address, which I've got prepared a packet with the letters I sent off, and also another letter of explanation. What else can I do to protect myself since I am filling out a W-4 and 1099s? What can I do to protect myself and make sure that they know, hey, I don't agree with doing this, but I'm only doing it because you guys are forcing me to?
Well, did you do the W-4 exempt that we have on our website under right, free yourself from tax withholding? Do you use that exactly as we have on our website, this procedure, or not?
I did exempt. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
Oh,
but
so
I
you
wrote
did not. You did not. Hold on. I got you. You did not. You did your own thing. Don't.
Right.
You made a mistake. Because you are open
Okay.
to criminal prosecution in 1 in a million if they come after you. You need to follow the one on our website. Free yourself from tax withholding. It's available for free. Okay? If you go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, under right menu on the right side, right center area, down, the menu down comes up, free yourself from tax withholding. Click on that page, and you'll see instructions on video and writing and the form and the laws attached to stop withholding property and safely. That's what you need to do. Okay?
Okay. Well, so the other part of that too is the job that I went back to. I'm on probation for a year, so I didn't want to rock the boat with HR until after I'm off probation. At which point I'm willing to go in there and make my argument. But I'm trying not to do anything to disrupt their process up there in the meantime.
You won't disrupt nothing. This is just withholding between you and the IRS, the law says. Okay? In fact, you should not have to fill out the form to begin with. They're just forcing you. So it's not a problem. That's probation based upon your performance. They don't even look at this stuff. They just process them.
Right.
Human resources that come in. Don't be afraid. Listen,
So
protect yourself properly. The crooked judges, what they do at the BSF Department of Injustice, they come after you for tax evasion, and then they'll let you explain the law to jury because you might confuse the poor jury with the law. You must have the law quoted attached to as part of your W-4 to be able to show it to a jury in case they come after you. Understand? You want to take a risk, go to prison, or be completely safe and sleep good at night.
Right. So what can I do right now in the middle of the year, because it's already been done for this tax year? Also, when it comes to the 1099 I was forced to submit, what kind of documentation can I send to them to update the information?
Have you done your petition to Congress that we have on our website for free?
Yeah, I did that several years ago.
Good. You got that? All you got to do right now on the W-4 at your job, give them a new one. That's all. That we have on our website.
What about the 1099?
What about it? There's nothing you can do about that. They'll 1099 you unless you educate them to not to do it, which is hard to do. Unless you can do that, they will go 1099 you. So what? The IRS doesn't use a W-2 1099s against people. They don't. You just saw that. I showed it to you. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Well, those are the only questions I had. I'll look that up right now.
All right, my friend, you got it. If you want to join hands with other people to be safe, you have the option. Otherwise, on your own, you probably should be fine. You've been doing fine for over 9 years already, it looks like. So, good. You're an example for everybody else to follow. They leave you alone as a non-filer, right? Okay.
All right, thank you, Peymon.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Jason. Let's go to the 573 area code caller. You're live, my friend. Give me your first name. How you heard about Freedom Law School?
Hi, Peymon.
Yes.
Okay, hi. Hi there. My name is Kristen, and I'm calling, I found you on YouTube, and I think I saw a show called Redacted that you were on, and then since then I've just been doing a lot of research and been watching all your videos on YouTube.
Okay, get close to the microphone, please, and don't go YouTube. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and watch the 7 steps in order. That's the best way to become educated. Very good, Kristen. And how may I help you?
Yes, I've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in December of 24, my husband, a W-2 wage earner, was issued the lock-in letter. And we were good little slaves because we didn't know what else to do. And we followed their rules, and they went ahead and enforced that lock-in letter in March. Well, we're very thankful. He actually has a new job. So my question is, we're going to follow your W-4 information on your website. But my question is, in your experience and with what you know, what is the likelihood that the IRS is going to find him again, or that he'll come up in their algorithms? How long do we have? Are they going to be looking for him? Basically, that's the question.
They're not going to be looking for your husband, okay? And IRS this year has gotten much more aggressive than ever by doing lock-in letters, because freedom laws have been waking up the American slaves to be free, not filing, and they realize that they don't have enough tax court judges to hear all these non-filer cases, so they're trying to circumvent all that by doing lock-in letters to oversteal it from your paycheck, to force you to file to get some of that money back. So, but I don't know, probably for a couple of years at the minimum, you will not hear anything from the IRS. That's the minimum I can tell you. Okay, because he's got to work on his job, make sure W-4 goes to the IRS. I got to figure out what's going on. Maybe a year or two later or 3, they see there's no withholding, and they might come after him. But I don't know. I really don't know for sure. But he won't be right away. Okay, at least for a minimum of a year or 2. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. So we'll just have to decide what to do on that W-4. If we're going to play it safe and pay them every paycheck, or follow your program. That's because there literally was nothing we could do to get out of that lock-in letter. It was like they put handcuffs on us,
You could stop the stealing from your paycheck, join our Restore Freedom plan for only $2,000 per year, and right now, and if when a lock-in letter comes in, we will challenge them in court. We're getting ready to do some lawsuits in the court challenging a lock-in letter lawsuits. So that's another option you have available. Okay?
Okay, we will consider that. But I really want to thank you. I've been recently watching your videos that go back 30 years, and I'm amazed. And I'm just so thankful that I've kind of awakened to this truth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. We just recently put up some of on our social media, folks. The videos I did from Freedom Rallies from 1999 till 2012. Some of them were not on there on our YouTube channel and our Odyssey channel, so we put them up wholesale. So you can see some of the very old videos of early 2000 years old, 1999. We had some videos from 1999 also. You can check it out. Yes, when I was still had black hair on my head, all only. Time flies. Anyhow, so we got several callers. You're most welcome, Christy. Before we go to 727 area code caller, let's make a list of other people with questions. We have, like I said, 408 area code caller, and then we have a 308 area code caller, then a 305 area code caller, and then we have one from area code 303. Then we have one from area code 503. Then one from area code 272. And let's see, another one from area code 210. And one from area code 560. So people, a lot of people are waiting to get the question answered. Please be short to your point. I got to go to the next people quickly, okay? 727 area code. First name. How you heard about us? Your question, please.
Yes. Good evening, Peymon. Great to see you. I'm Karen, and I've met you at events, and friends of mine referred me to Freedom Law School a couple of years ago.
Very good.
And it's great that your topic tonight was the letters, because just last week I received a letter. It's the first letter I've gotten from the IRS in a couple of years since I moved. Anyway, it's short and sweet. In big bold letters it says, there is a $7,956 credit on your account, but we haven't received your tax return. And it's one page. And then it goes, we credit payments and other credits to your account, da-da-da-da-da, but under the threatened part, it says, if you're required to file this tax return and haven't done so yet, send it in right away and we'll apply the credit. And the notice name is CP81, if that means anything to you. So I'm just going to ignore it, but I just thought I'd call in real quick and share this, and maybe some other people have gotten the same similar thing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
And this right now, this IRS is sitting these things out because they're desperate to scare people because they're afraid the slaves we get free. They're afraid of that. They know we outnumber them 100 to 1, and if you ever figure that out, there goes their way of life. The DC swamp. Funded by your tax dollars. So, Karen, thank you for calling. I appreciate that. Remember, any letters you got, go ahead and email, fax it to us. I'll be happy to go over them for you guys next Freedom Hour. So let's go to our next caller. We have from area code 408. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you for calling. 408 area code, name, how you heard about us, then your question, please. Are you there, area code 408 caller? No? Okay, we're going to come back to 408 caller later on. Let's go to 308 area code caller. You're live, first name, how you heard about us, then your question, please.
Hi. Yeah, Peymon, hi. It's Mike in Nebraska, and I heard about you from Joe Bannister. And thank you. A couple of things. I've got over 30,000 followers on Twitter, and I routinely repost your links over there and tell people about it. When I try to do it on TikTok, every time I put your website, they erase it. So TikTok absolutely will not let me post you up there. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah, I know what's about TikTok with that. That's interesting. Yeah, very good. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and okay, and I have a sort of a good report here, and then I have a question for you. Number one, you helped me. I was immigrating my wife from the Philippines, and I had asked you. I called a couple of times about that. And anyway, what I did, I called your office and I told them this, but I used a bare bones copy of what you send to the senators, in other words, and addressed this to immigration, saying, the definitions with the attachments and everything. And it all worked. They completely passed. I did have to get a co-signer, but it all worked, and her visa appointment went, and it was approved. However, we don't do vaccines, so now we're having to do a vaccine waiver on that. But I just wanted to say it works for immigration. So it was beautiful.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. You've been a real godsend. And then I've got a question. When you get a notice of deficiency, why not just respond with basically your beautiful outline of we are using the IRS codes and all the attachments, and just say, here you go, I'm not a U.S. citizen.
Well,
Can you respond that way to a notice of deficiency?
We'll be doing that, absolutely. And let those crooked judges in D.C. in tax court, if they want, rule against us. That's okay. There's way too many of us. We outnumber them. And by joining hands together, everybody become a member and only contributing 30% of what you would have paid.
I don't see how they could payment.
Yeah.
I don't see how they could even respond to it because it's right out of their own
you know what?
definition
No,
on
you know what they do?
code.
Oh, I know what they do. These crooked judges.
What do?
They say, "Oh, you are frivolous," and we don't need to take our time to give you this copious answers and give all the detailed analysis. We don't need to do that. You're just so obviously frivolous. We don't have to address your arguments. See, these judges are defiers of Allah. They defy the law knowingly, deliberately. These are treasonous, communist judges, just like when I grew up in the communist Soviet Union. That's right. I remember as a kid, here in the Soviet Union, you had the great constitution. They had supposedly all these rights for the people, but the crooked communist Soviet judges ignored all that and ruled against the political dissidents who were fighting for freedom of the Russian and people of the Soviet Union. They just routinely did that. And we have a bunch of communists in the federal government. Okay? The government is a community communist, so it doesn't matter. We get together, join the Restore Freedom Plan. So even if they rule against you, so what? So what? Eventually they take your money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Within 30 days, we'll make you whole. The group will make you whole within 30 days. You have zero risk.
Perfect.
Zero risk. I mean, we expose this crooked judges.
Americans.
What's that?
I don't think most Americans understand that all these courts, these judges get a percentage of everything.
No, they don't. They don't get a percentage of that. No, they don't. No, it's what it really is. It's a siege mentality. The other mentality, like, hey, you know, if I go uphold the law, the Constitution, the way this guy says, wow, the whole income tax and payroll tax scam is destroyed. All these people in football stadiums, basketball, baseball stadiums, watching sports, soap opera, glued to TV, wake up and say, what? We've been ripped off all of our lives? What? I'm not going to watch football and baseball, basketball anymore. I'm going to go get my money back from the U.S. government. And the government says it's not there. And the football spectator says, you better have my money. You took it illegally, and I want it back now. Otherwise, heads will roll. That type of attitude. So that's why they're so scared to expose the fact that the emperor wears no clothes. That's what's going on. But anyhow, I could talk hours about this, Mike, but I got to get to other people's question, brother. Thank you. Have you any other question before I go to...
Just one more, if you could. Yeah, just a quick one.
Sure.
In your opinion, why haven't they invested the money in upgrading their computers?
They can't.
The IRS? It's a good scam. Why? They could have done it over the years, and
no,
they didn't do it.
They couldn't have done it if you go to our step 3, brother. Okay? How IRS is bluff, okay? They rely on bluff. You go down, and 7 reasons why the IRS cannot come after you. You see, a third reason is IRS and its computers have been slowly falling apart since 1980s. Okay? They've been trying there's an article on there, 40 years of failure. IRS unable to fix computer systems. Came out March 5, 2022 from Americans for Tax Reform. They listen here. Mainstream media like Time Magazine, Newsweek, okay, New York Times, since the early 80s reporting that the IRS has again and again tried to update its computers, and they fail again and again, going back to the 1980s. Now, in 2025, you cannot marry that old, antiquated, phony landing on the moon computers of COBOL, assembly language, updated with today's technology. You just can't do it, okay? That's why they did. They actually said on the IRS's website, they used to have a date of they're going to be fixing your system, updating it. And the last time in 2023, the Government Accounting Service said IRS suspended operations essential to replacing the 60-year-old individual master file. Accordingly, the 2030 target completion date for replacing the IMF individual master file that the IRS announced last year is now unknown. Unknown. They used to give a phony date of, we wish by this day we'll have a system change. That was 7 years ahead. They say we can't even do it in 7 years. They are destined to go down, just like the Soviet Union collapsed from within. All it takes is we, the
Thank
ants.
you, Peymon.
The American people recognize that.
Thank you, sir.
We outnumber them, okay? You're welcome, my friend, okay? Thank you. You're my
Bye-bye.
pleasure. Okay, 305 caller, you are next. Give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi. Yes, this is Ty, and I heard about you scrolling on YouTube a couple months ago around tax filing season.
And how may I help you?
So my question is, as a federal employee, are we able to be exempt from income tax withholding?
Yes, as long as you do not work in a district of criminals, Washington, D.C., your income is not taxable.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
There you go.
And another, my other question is around property taxes. Does anything that you discuss in Freedom Law School exempt us from property taxes?
No, I only talk about income taxes, federal income taxes, state income taxes. I do not specialize in state income tax, state property tax. Basically, you have to pay them if you have property, and it's too high in America, not like what it used to be. But that is that's what pays for the government services you expect. That is courts, police, sheriffs, roads, the communist government school system, and much of social, communist health care they provide, all that stuff is paid that way through property and sales taxes. But there's a legal basis for that, those taxes. You cannot get out of them.
Okay, that makes sense. And one more last question. What do you there's something called the foreign FEIE, foreign earned income tax exclusion, where if you live outside of the U.S. for, I think it's 300 days or more, you're not subject to federal tax, if I'm not mistaken. Is that something that you think is that viable, or that has nothing to do with us being slaves to the income tax?
That
whether we live here or
applies
not.
to citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., who may reside outside of D.C. in a foreign country, okay, outside of D.C. So it doesn't apply to you at all. Because none of those games apply to you because you're not a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C., are you?
No.
Okay, then. You're free as a bird.
Nice.
Okay?
Thanks, Peymon.
You're welcome, Ty. Let's go to Colorado, area code 303 caller. Give me your first name. I heard about us.
Oh, Mr. Peymon, this is Mehran. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Mehran. Pleasure to meet you, a fellow Rodian, Mehran. I got your email here also. You sent me. Thank you for the kind words you have to say about me, my friend. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome anytime. Yes, we are naturalized not through the birth in this country, so we are basically foreign born. And I haven't filed my taxes for 2023, 2024, partially because I got some infos through watching other sites, Edward Griffin show, and then Mike Adams and all these things. So I just put hold on that. For 2022, we estimated and we sent very close to what we owe. But 23 and 24, I just started getting the second letter not long ago, reminded not friendly actually, very harsh that we owe to IRS, we have to file 1040, and we just put hold on it. But the thing is, the fact that we are foreign-born, is going to be jeopardize anything? Like traveling, we travel, of course, back home, sometimes to meet family. Is that something going to be just jeopardize that part? I don't care much about the IRS part, but since now the government, with all this technology, they got it really recently through Palantir technology, all the government branches, everything, agencies are getting together, and then they have all information about anything. So all the information goes everywhere now, it spreads out. So what is your opinion on that, Mr. Peymon, please?
No, it's a myth that the IRS's computers and government computers are all connected. They're not. There are a bunch of... IRS itself has about over 60 different computer systems. They are not connected. When they want to share data with each other, offices, they have to literally mail, fax, okay, or send the whole hard disk copy to the other office. They do not. That's within the IRS itself. Other agencies do not work with the IRS like that either. They go the minimal work. These are slow, lazy, irresponsible, communist bureaucrats. No one owns his agencies. People that work for government, they don't care to work harder or faster. Why would they? They have no motivation to work any faster at all. So why would they? They don't. So no, they are not like that, Iran. And this is not Iran, Sabak, the Secret Service, are going to get you if you criticize the Shah, or Khomeini. It's not like that, okay? This is just, they're a bunch of bureaucrats doing the job. You're free. You've done the right thing, my friend. Any other questions?
But is it heading that way? Because things are getting tied up. I mean, in the past, many years ago, I didn't file my taxes. I had a self-employed business back then too, and then I didn't pay for 4 years, and then no letters, nothing whatsoever. But now they just get your nose very close to what people are doing. So that's what I'm afraid. I'm not afraid, scared. Just I want to be more cautious.
Mehran, did you watch my presentation tonight?
The beginning of the presentation?
Yeah.
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay. So you saw, I just showed you. These IRS letters is not somebody out there watching you. David or John or James, they're not watching you at the IRS. You see, oh, Mehran didn't answer to our letter, James. What is it, Robert? Should we go after him? Yeah, I think we gotta go get him. He ignored us. It's not like that.
So they're computer generated.
It's just a dumb computer generated letter goes by mass, and you see IRS on the symbol. You say, "Whoa, IRS! I'm so scared. I'm shaking in my boots." It doesn't work like that. It's just a scare letter. Okay.
Sounds good. I didn't scare of Iranian regime, so I won't be scared of these guys either.
Mm-hmm. All it takes.
Thank you so much, and I will join your university.
Thank you. Thank you, Mehran. It was a pleasure to hear from a fellow Iranian and that's enlightened and open-minded and listens and thinks for himself. And I know how challenging it is, my friend, to get some of our family members who might be brainwashed, by the media, but don't give up on them. Love them, Mehran, anyways. See, someday one of them will wake up and say, Mehran, you were right what you were telling me 5 years ago. Right? Yeah.
Well, the reason I don't want to file is two reasons. One is that because we cannot pay. We have so much debt and basic to pay that we really don't have any limit or anything for that.
Right.
And then also, I don't want to feed the beast, because I believe if you feed the beast, maybe you'll be part of it, and that's very bad for my moral values. I don't want to feed the beast
exactly
for any reason.
They use our money.
Thank you so much.
For all kind of evil. You're welcome. All the murder going out there across the world, all these wars. America been involved in aggressive wars. Nobody threatened America from Ukraine, from Gaza, from Iraq, from Libya, okay, from Vietnam. It's all based upon lies. Okay?
Yeah, I don't want to have any stain on blood stain on me.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're literally guilty of contributing to evil. Thank you for saying that, Mehran. I appreciate you very much for saying that.
Yeah.
You know, when you give to these guys, knowing you don't have to, and continue to give to these criminals, you're just as involved as them, indirectly supporting them. Why? Why support evil? I won't do it. So I appreciate you. Thank you, Mehran, for having such strong consciousness for freedom and truth, my friend. I love you. Thank you for calling. Let me get to some of the other calls we got waiting for. Okay, Mehran? I appreciate you, my friend.
I love you too. Sorry. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Sure, bye-bye.
We have right now several more calls waiting patiently. Let's see. Let's go over them. We got 503 caller, 210 caller, and let's see, 562 caller. We have also a 210 caller. I don't see on the list. Did I put him on? Did I? 210 caller. No, I got to put him on the 210 caller. I got to add him to the list. And we got more still, folks. Hang on. This was a good topic for a lot of people tonight. We have one from area code, let's see, 904. Right? No, that's it for right now? Okay, all right, we're good for right now. Okay. Let's go to the call we have right now from area code 503. My friend, you're live. Give me your first name. How you heard about Freedom Law School.
Hey, Peymon, Hi, Peymon. This is Tess. I talked to you last week. I just signed up. I was last year a student, and then I just did my application for this year. I have like two quick questions. I missed the first part. I wanted to watch the first part but I'm assuming you talked about the IRS notices, the CP-59.
Yep.
The ones that they're sending out, like
Yep.
you need to file. Okay.
Yep.
So then my other questions are, does the guarantee cover, you said last week that if for some reason they did want to garnish your Social Security, they can only take 25%. Does the guarantee cover that from
Yes.
the Freedom Law School?
Yes. If you're a student that take your money IRS in any way, shape, or form, okay, except the lock-in letters, or withholding on interest and dividends, they say lock letter on that, you're covered completely. We'll reimburse you what the IRS takes from you.
Okay, just curious. Then my last question, you don't send the petitions out every year, right? Because it looks like some of the senators and the congressmen, they don't change, right? You need
one time, your letters is
those.
enough. All you do one time.
Okay. All right. So then here's my last quick question. So just as a protection thing, like my IRA is with Vanguard, and it's not huge, but it's mine. And my question is that should I move that to something that would protect like another company? Because I remember you were saying something like if your bank was in different states, and you moved, how you might be subject to garnishment. I'm in Oregon, but I'm just wondering, is Vanguard, should I consider moving it to another company or something?
You don't have to, but I prefer personally gold and Bitcoin. Okay, and some other cryptocurrency you might get involved. Those are, in my opinion, the best, safest, conservative, and ways you can invest your money in safe way, and you control it. No third party have control. You control the gold. You control the Bitcoin. Have your wallets, not with an exchange, but on your own wallets. Okay.
Mhm. So you're saying pull it out because it's not a Roth. So ideally, if I pulled it out, I'm going to get the disbursement things, whatever that is, 1098. So what you're thinking is it's better to pull it out and just have the physical aspect, even though versus putting it in a gold IRA is what you're thinking.
Well, yes, because you don't have to, but I think we are headed for another Great Depression like 2008. How soon? Year or 2 or 3? I don't know. Maybe sooner. But I predicted a 2008 Great Depression. Why? Because I was an economics and finance major at California University. I studied this stuff in college. I saw it coming. It's coming again. You don't want to be in real estate.
Mm.
You don't want to be in stocks. Okay? Where you want to be, safety, gold, Bitcoin. Short, sweet,
Yeah,
simple.
I'm not in stocks. I've been in the money market, but I'm just, like I said, I want to be wise because I'm the senior and I'm by myself and I have to think, it's just hard.
Yeah, well, that's why I gave you choices. Have some gold coins in your place. If that's be more comfortable with that, do that. Okay?
Perfect. All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're
My
the best.
pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for calling, Tess. 272 area code caller is there. Yep, he's there right now. Give me your first name, my friend. How you heard about us, and then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. This is Melissa. I found you on YouTube a few months ago. I just want to make sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So I was wondering if you had any advice around working with platforms like YouTube that use things like AdSense, where to actually get platformed onto AdSense, you're filling out forms that would lead to them sending 1099s. In person, I've been able to navigate just fine, but in wanting to expand and offer things online, I haven't been sure how to navigate that. So I was just curious if you had any advice for things like AdSense and like Stripe.
What's it to navigate? Just hire them. Pay them for whatever you want to do. There's nothing special necessary.
So my concern, just to clarify, is that they will be sending 1099s out for the AdSense income that's coming.
It doesn't
so is there
matter.
anything?
Doesn't matter. You just saw me in step 3 on our website. Okay, I cover this issue again in step 3 on our website. Okay, I'll show you guys. I cover the fact that the IRS is based upon bluff. They don't use those W-2 1099s against non-filers. There's about 80 to 90 million non-filers. As long as they believe that they got you, because they got your W-2 or 1099, they got you because you file and confess to the IRS money. They do not have enough people or judges to come after 80 to 90 million non-filers. You got that? It doesn't matter. Now, if you want to be safe and you believe in freedom, and you want to support freedom, then join the Restore Freedom Plan. You will get 100% guarantee that IRS will, no matter what happens, you'll win. No matter what, you'll not go to prison. And we do all the legal work for you, give you all the legal help, attorneys, consultation. And even if we were to lose, they take your money, we will reimburse you whatever IRS took from you. So you have no risk.
Got you. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
just to make sure I'm understanding that, it's safe for me to fill out those forms, to actually get signed up with AdSense. What's important is just that I don't actually file my taxes.
There is no my taxes, Melissa. What you're going to get is this, Melissa.
Yes, the
there was
taxes.
never my
Yes,
taxes
yes.
in the first place. In your head, there was no my taxes. You never owed the federal income tax all your life. You were lied. You were deceived that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. We had to go fight the war over there. You were deceived and lied to that Al Qaeda and Osama bin Laden did 9/11. You were lied to the FBI, Department of Justice, CIA, are your friends and your protectors all your life. Just like everybody, you're fed a bunch of lied of bull in the Matrix, just like the movie Matrix. Lies and lies. Now you're getting out of the Matrix. It's not. It's about all the stuff around you. You've been all your life. You thought vaccines are good. You lied all your life. Oh, the medical system is pure. They're always looking out for the patients. Vaccines are great to save lives. Okay, so there was never no my to begin with. You can stop.
Yeah, it's funny. I know this, but I'm still trapped in the semantics. So thank you for clarifying that. And then the last thing I have is just in regards to, I'm interested in LLC or trust structures in respect to the asset protection that they have, but I'm wondering how what you're teaching would apply to those things, or if you have any guidance or anything to say about using those entities.
They're great for estate planning. If you need them, go for it. I can refer to somebody who does that. I don't do them. Our students don't need them. Many of them are just employees. But if you do have assets, you want to protect them, you want to do proper estate planning, LLCs, corporations, trusts, all these things, they're great. I mean, heck, rich people do it all the time. Why shouldn't you?
Understood. So what you're saying is if I were to use those things, then there would be a filing requirement connected to those?
No. No.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not Washington, D.C. entities. If they're Washington, D.C. entities, they have to pay Washington, D.C. income tax on that corporation or trust or LLC. Otherwise, they don't.
Okay. Understood. Thank you so much for all your help. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for all you do.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Melissa. Okay, we get down to a few more callers from area code 210 and then 408 caller, I think, right? Because 562 area code caller got tired and left us. Sorry about that. From Long Beach, California. Okay? 210 area code caller, you're live. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question. Yes, sir.
My first name is Catherine, and I heard about you on Mike Adams' interview. And I'm calling about, we have just started an Airbnb, and it's similar to the lady that called right before me. I was worried about getting that 1099 because they made, they're going to send me that 1099.
Yep.
My question is that okay for us to do an Airbnb?
Yes. Look, most everybody out there, a third party, like an employer, sends the IRS a false W-2 saying they paid you so much taxable income. Or a third party sends a false 1099 saying that you have taxable income. Guess what? They're all Restore Freedom Plan members will protect them all. And 99.9% of you will get left alone. Remember, there's about 80 to 90 million non-filers, the IRS estimates. And these people are what? IRS said they know about them because they got W-2 or 1099s from the third party to the IRS. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
They're not incompetents. And the IRS, they with antiquated computers don't use them. I showed you the Libyan non-filers still over 99.9% alone, and these dumb computer-generated letters that you got recently, many of you, mean nothing. They're just meant to scare you. Okay.
Okay. And the last question that I have is, we heard your interview with Mike Adams, and so we're retired. We had just closed our business, and we decided not to file in 2022, but we did have an accountant, and she had filed us the year before, but then she had our information and everything, and she passed. What, Jerry? Yeah, we did it the year before, but then she passed away, and her children got rid of all of her records and everything, so I guess we don't really need to worry about anything, right?
Did she file a tax return for you?
We paid, no, just one that she did. It was a refund. That's it. It was a refund.
What?
From the year before. And after that,
she freed you by going to heaven. She freed you. Okay, didn't file a confession form for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your show.
You are welcome, Catherine. You're fine. Okay? Retire with your grandkids and have fun with them, okay?
I will. I appreciate it, Peymon. Thank you so much for what you do. We all do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we have right now only one call from area code 408. If you have a question, let's put the number on the screen. You can call in, get your question answered next. After this next caller, the number to call is 424-552-1299. And then you press 1 on your telephone keypad, 424-552-1299. Then you press 1 on your telephone keypad. You will go next after the 408 area code caller. You're live, my friend. Give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please. Are you there for America 408? 408 caller is not listening. Okay.
Yes.
Are you there?
I'm here.
You're live,
Hello?
yes.
Yes.
What's your name?
Okay, 408. Yes, Suzanne. I sent in the document today and talked to Kim. I wonder if you have it in front of you.
Yes.
For the capital gain. So we explained about the house we bought. And so we have two questions. Do we have to pay the gain when it's kind of an offset? We bought the house at $800K. We bought another house at $750. So, is any capital tax gain when we have like even out?
Well, let me ask you, Susan, are you a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C.?
Yes, I am a resident at Washington, D.C., but it used to be in California, and we now officially moved here and have a driver license in Washington State.
No. Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. Are you a citizen or resident of the District of Columbia?
No.
Okay. Then all the stuff you list here, you owe none of that. You owe zero income tax or capital gains on any of this.
So we just don't need to do anything?
No, you don't need to file anything at all.
Okay. Secondly, we also send you the form from 1040. We did not file 23 and 24. And we calculated we only owe a couple $100. So the key thing is we don't want them to go after us. Like you said, we are not citizens. Do we need to do anything else?
No, you're just fine.
Okay. And that is my husband's file. My file is a little bit more messy that I sent earlier a few weeks ago. It's about the franchise tax board sent me that I owe $27,000. I don't know if you have it in front of you. It's have the one called pay by mail voucher that I owe $22,000, where I did not work that year, but the year before I did work. So I think they base on that and they calculate the tax. And in there, yeah.
Well, what I see is you, according to the California Franchise Tax Board, you filed the tax return with them, it seems, for 2021, which is now you owe about $23,000, like you said, as of September of last year. But it seems like you've since then moved, like you said, to Washington. And as long as you have no pension, no salaries, no real estate, no income, no bank account of any kind in California or connected to California, like a big bank that has a branch in California, they cannot legally take any of your money. Okay?
Okay. Right. So what about the big tax that they said I owe, like $27,000? They did levy my account twice.
What's your bank account? What's your bank name?
I'm with a School First Technology. I'm in a credit union.
A California credit union, yes.
Correct.
They can take any money out of the credit union you have in California or any bank or institution in California or has a branch in California. So it's up to you. You can pay them or not pay them. And if you don't pay them, you don't want to pay them, you better not have your money in that credit union or any bank or credit union in California.
Okay, got it. So just open your bank account here now.
You can do that if you want to.
I see. Right. Yes. In the case my tax, I just wait. I don't need to respond to them, right?
No.
Because now I moved to Washington State.
Remember, America is not one country. America's 50 countries. California, New York, Texas are as much separate countries as France, Germany, and Italy are countries in the European Union. You cannot get a judgment against somebody or taxes in Germany and go collect it in France. You want to be made owed in California potentially. California cannot go in Washington or Oregon and take your money. Okay?
Right. Yes. All right. Great. Thank you so much for your call. And the call today, is that recorded? Because I saw the CP59 form before and all the things that you mentioned. It's so eye-opening. I just want to see it again. So,
yeah. Well, I'm glad you called.
Is that on YouTube or Rumble?
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Is that in YouTube or Rumble that I can look for that recorded call today?
Well, videos on all of those platforms, on YouTube, on Rumble, Odyssey, on all these platforms we're there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peymon. All right.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for calling, Susan.
Good.
I think we're done, guys. If any more questions, let's put the number on the screen one more time. The board is open right now. Anybody with questions, go ask away. But you got to first call the number 424-552-1299 and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, the number is 424-552-1299 and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. Let me double check. Did we take every caller? I think we have every caller that called in. We got their questions answered. The 200 caller is no longer with us. We have 562 caller is left also, right? Yeah, and someone's calling in right now. 408. I think we took out 408 caller. Let me see. 408 caller was right now. Yeah. All right, brothers and sisters. Listen, I'm happy to help you out, but remember, what you want to do is to go to our website, freedomlawschool.org. Go to our homepage, okay? And there you'll see how you can take 7 steps to regain your power and freedom and never again voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely and with a guarantee if you choose. Click on the 7 steps gold bar there, and as you drive around to and from work, workout, gym, shopping, any errands, listen to the 7 steps as you drive, and then when you go to work or home, watch them again. This time watch them. At driving, look the road, and just listen. Follow the law is the first step. It's all there, so easy. Don't go on this YouTube and just look around here and there. No. Just go to the key videos, and education is on our website, freedomlawschool.org. With that, no other callers. Thank you very much for being with me. I love you all. Hope you're having a great summer, great vacation. I'm planning to take some time off this summer. Hopefully maybe July. I've had a vacation, a really good vacation since I was in my 20s probably. So I'm probably going to be gone for a little while this summer. So with that, I give you guys my love, and hope I'll be back with you next Tuesday night also with another edition of Freedom Law School's Freedom Hour. Thank you. Good night with love.